Hi, I'm Mary Crowley, and this is Zing. May I please spend some time with you? I would like that, yes, I'd like that. Would you like that too? Here we are today at Zing, a show for children, and we will today be looking at an art class that I had with kindergarten children at Northwest School. Linda is going to talk about her excitement about spring. Lynn is going to be a puppet, and I am going to draw a daffodil. And there's more. So I hope you'll stay with us. I think you'll have fun. Today, the word is yellow. Yellow is the color of spring in many different ways. First of all, crocuses pop out of the ground, usually first, and they are yellow and purple too, and white, lots of yellow. Then along comes forsythia, the bush that has little yellow flowers, 4 petals to each flower. Daffodils, yellow daffodils, and lots of them. And later on, dandelions, yellow. So yellow is the color of spring for me. Y is the first letter of yellow. Y, yellow. Y-E-S, yes. Y. An egg has a yolk. Y-O-L-K. Y. Y. Yes. Yeah. Yolk. Yeah. Yellow. The number for today is 7. The way to make 7 clear, I think, is to talk about the fact that there are 7 days in a week. There is Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 weekdays. And maybe you go to preschool, or you go to school or work. And then after those 5 days, we have Saturday and Sunday. That's called the weekend. A lot of people don't work on the weekend. Some do, but some don't. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days in the week. That's a good way to remember the number 7. The next word is special. And here is the word special, done in lowercase, small letters. And it is a word that I think Mr. Rogers may have used sometimes. Mr. Rogers was a television personality that was, he thought every single person, every single child was very important, very special. And he said things like, there's nobody like you. You're the only one. And maybe you know what your talent is, and maybe you know what you can do well, but it doesn't matter. You'll find out because you're special. You have something to give to the world, to the people around you, because you're special. You're one of a kind. All right, next we'll go to Northwest School. I went in with oil pastels. And these are oil pastels. They are like crayons, but when you put them on, they're more like oil paint. They're not like crayons. They're thicker. They're not oil paint, but they're oil pastels. I found that when I was teaching children, whether they were in kindergarten or seniors in high school, they liked oil pastels. And I like them very, very much. So I gave each child a bag of oil pastels. And I demonstrated the colors they had in their bag by using a piece of lined paper that the teacher had up. And these were the colors. So these were the only colors they had to work with. And what we were doing was looking at a large print that the teacher put up of Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers. So we had this up, and the teacher put it up very large so everybody could see it. At home, I practiced. You have to try things. You have to try things on your own. So I did this. Now, it wasn't like this one because I didn't have the same colors, but it was 3 flowers and a vase and a table. And that's what I asked the children in the Northwest kindergarten class to do. We're going to cover all the white. Like a real painting. Very nice. Oh, I love them. Ah, yes. Oh my goodness, look at all the great art. So this is what I did at home, and this is what I'm doing here. Oh my goodness, leaves. Let's put some leaves in. We forgot. So I'm going to put a leaf up here, peeking out. Put it where you want to. But there's a leaf. Another leaf. I don't know how many leaves you want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 is enough for me, but you decide what you want. This is sitting on a table, but the table's not down here. The table is like this. You see how it is in Van Gogh's? Yeah. It's sitting on the table. Now, most children don't draw that way, but maybe you could do it today. The table is all around the vase. Can you do that? You do it with a pencil line if you want to first, lightly. But we're going to fill in the background, and we're going to fill in the table. Okay, so I am going to put a light blue back here. And I hope you're having a good time, because that's what this is all about. It's not about doing a perfect oil pastel painting. It's about having a good time looking at the color. Oh, I like my colors. So that there was color everywhere. What do you like the best? The flower?
Yeah, that.
The flower with the orange petals.
Yes.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Allie? All right, I'll hold it up so the camera can see it.
I like the purple one.
You like the purple in yours. Thank you, Allie.
And I like the
You like this flower?
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you.
These are the sunflowers, and I mixed different colors with them. So it mixes in so it looks like the wind is blowing at them.
The wind is blowing. Thank you, Lee, very much. Okay, Myra? What do you like the best?
I like this one because.
Okay, and we'll show the person looking.
Because
this one.
I think this one is the best because it has a little more color than some of the rest with the brown.
Very good. Thank you. Okay.
I colored the background orange and green and tried the table blue in the pot. Wow.
All right, so Cameron, you like your green here in the background? Is that what you like?
And this is a yellow blue on top.
And you like the blue on top. Is that the sky? That's what I figured. Okay. What do you like the best about yours?
The sunflower.
The sunflowers. All right, this is Olivia's. Olivia, what do you like the best about yours?
The colorful sunflower.
The colorful sunflowers. What do you like the best?
I like this flower.
I like this flower too. What do you like the best about yours?
This one.
This blue part with your initials in it. Okay, thank you. What do you like the best? Shall I say what I like the best?
Yeah.
I like the flower here. Beautiful. Okay, good. Sunflowers.
Sunflower.
By Van Gogh.
By Van Gogh.
Thank you, Van Gogh.
Thank you, Van Gogh.
Thank you, children.
Thank you, children.
Wasn't that fun? Then when I said thank you to the children, they said thank you, children. That made me laugh. Linda is very excited about spring, and she has some ways to share her excitement with you.
I love spring. It is a time where things just pop up. Out of nowhere, it seems like. They push their way up through the ground, but they can't do it until the ground warms up. Otherwise, they're knocking their head. They're not going anyplace. But as soon as the sun warms up the ground, you can see little cracks in the soil. And out of those cracks comes a brand new flower that wasn't there. The bulb was there all winter long. But now you're going to see the flowers. What I love about spring is because it's full of color. Winter was pretty much green, evergreen trees, in white, or sometimes brown, the dead grass. But spring is full of color. Just like the little boy on the front of this book, you just want to dance out in the sun. You want to sit on your steps, take out your lounge chairs, and just sit there. And very often you just want to sit there with a book. You might still have a sweater on, but it feels so good to have that sun on your face and on your head. It's also a time in spring where one of the very first flowers you're going to see is on a bush, a forsythia bush. And it has little yellow flowers, which right away, it feels like sunshine on a bush. It's bright, and in Vermont especially, you can go by almost every house and people have a forsythia bush. And I think it's because it's one of the earliest things that will flower in Vermont. And it's so pretty, it just feels like a whole big ball of sunshine right in your own yard. And the other flower that comes up pretty soon is the tulip. It's one of those that pops up, pushes through, and depending on what color the people want in their yard, that's the color that comes up. Some people like all red tulips. Some people like pink tulips. Some people like white tulips. You just have to wait and see what comes up. Again, that bulb, it starts growing, and it starts very small. Then it gets a little bigger, and then it gets bigger, but the leaves are still pushed together. So you still don't know what the surprise color is going to be until the flower begins to open up. But not just flowers. There's all kinds of bushes and plants, and some are green with white. Some like these, which are a fern. They're all shades of greens. You can find some that are light green, some that are dark green. You still have evergreen trees, and they might have a little bit of snow left on them, but they're going to stay that color all year round. But again, the leaves off of flowers in the spring, they will get nice and green like this. As soon as they start to grow, they're just a beautiful green. Again, the leaves, remember, they're all different shapes and sizes, just like people. Different shapes, sizes. Some are soft, some are hard. Some have a lot of points, some don't. But in spring, you see a lot of green. And then, depending on the plant, you see a lot of flowers. This again is a fern, and I love ferns. There's all kinds of ferns. This one was a fern too, but the leaf patterns are a little different. And I like ferns because I like green and the different colors of the spring and the green, and you can always pop them in any, like a glass, and it makes you feel like you're outdoors even though you're indoors. What I loved about this one was if you look closely, right here, you would wonder, what in the world is that? Believe it or not, that is the beginning of a fern when it's growing. So eventually this is going to unwind itself and it will be like this. And if you live near the woods or any place near a trail, or parents may even have some of these in your own backyard, you take a look and see if you see any of the new ferns getting ready to blossom. But that's what those are. One of the first flowers too that comes out are daisy type flowers. They're pretty hardy. And they have leaves which look different than ferns. But they also have a flower, and in the middle of the flower, they have a center. And that will eventually produce more daisies. This way, sometimes you go by a field, and there isn't a house, but there's a lot of daisies growing in there. And you wonder, how in the world did somebody go in and plant all those daisies? Well, they didn't. But the wind did. Sometimes birds drop seeds when they've been on flowers. But these are daisies, are again one of the first flowers. This is another type of flower that's early spring, but it grows different than our fern did or the daisy. It grows very tall, very pretty, and it has blossoms. A lot of times at springtime, when you go by trees, they may not have a lot of leaves, but you will see blossoms. Sometimes it's like a cherry tree or an apple tree. They kind of let you know that they're still living and they're getting ready to start making their fruit that you get to usually eat in late summer or fall. But then there's some plants that just don't have flowers. They only have leaves. But again, what I hope that you pay attention to is the different shapes of the leaves, the different sizes of the leaves, the different colors. Spring is an amazing time. It is like a gift for your eyes, for your brain, and your heart.
Wasn't it fun to see the different kinds of plants and Linda's enthusiasm for the season of spring? Lynn wrote the puppet skit, and she is the voice of the puppet. And this time, I'm outside the puppet theater, and I am talking with and listening to Debbie. the puppet. It was fun. Sometimes a child is told that she or he is not good enough. And sometimes a child is told that what he or she did is not good enough. And that's what this little short puppet show is about. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Mary.
I haven't seen you in a long time. What's been happening?
I'm having a hard time. I can't understand something.
What is it?
Well, I asked Joan, you know Joan,
Yes.
to come and play at my house. And she took one look at my house and she said, "No thanks." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "It's not good enough for me."
Oh, that's not right.
Then I wanted to play basketball. I showed the coach all my moves. "That's not good enough for this team," he said.
I'm sorry, Debbie. That must be hard.
And I went to music group. You know how I love to sing. And I sang and sang and sang. A tisket, a tasket, a green and yellow basket. I wrote a letter to my mom, and on the way I dropped it. But they said, "You're not good enough for our group."
Well, it sounds great to me.
And I walked to the park to climb on the climbing wall there. Brenda pointed at my shoes and said, "You can't climb here. Your shoes, they're not good enough."
Well, maybe she meant that they weren't made for climbing. They weren't safe enough.
Do you think so? Well, maybe you're right.
Did anything else happen, Debbie?
Well, yes. I painted a picture. The teacher asked to see it. "It's not good enough," I said.
Do you have it? Can you show it to me?
I do. Here it is.
Oh, Debbie, I think it's wonderful. It's full of life. I love it.
Thank you, Mary. I was in gym class today, and the teacher wanted me to run in the relay race. You know those?
Yes.
"I'm not good enough," I said. "Just try to run as fast as you can," he said. I flew across the room. "Debbie, you're a great runner," he said. "You're good enough for this team."
Oh, how wonderful. You made the team, Debbie.
I did. So then Linda was walking toward me when I was walking home alone. I wanted to hide because of Joan, you know. I didn't want Linda to know where I lived. But Linda asked, could she play at my house? "It's not good enough," I said. Linda looked at my house. She saw my dad waving from the door. She saw my mom in the garden. She said, "It looks full of love." "It is," I said. "Well, that's good enough for me," said Linda, and we played all afternoon. So Mary, what is it? Is it good enough or no?
Yes. Many, many times. Good enough is good enough.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lynn, for helping to make this show fun. Now I'm going to be drawing a daffodil. This that I'm holding in my hand is a very tiny version of a painting that I did of daffodils. All right. I have here a daffodil. It's from the plant over there, and daffodils come from bulbs. They come up when the weather gets warm. I'm going to start with a pencil, and I'm going to hold this in front of me so that I can see it. And now every daffodil is different, just like every person is different. So this daffodil doesn't have a perfect circle in the middle. It's sort of like this. Now you can't see this well, so I'll do it quickly. But it goes like this. Now, there is a petal here at the top, and there's one that goes out to the side, number 2. And then there's one that goes out to this side, number 3. And I'm doing these first because they're on top of the other petals. Here's a petal. It's in back of the 2 that I drew before. And here's another petal, and it's in back of the one that I drew before. These petals in back are very pointy, very pointy. And then there's one down at the bottom, same thing. And of course there's a stem, and there are leaves. So now I'm going to take a black marker, and this is a sketch. So I think it's easiest to do the center part first, and it's frilly. It's, I don't know, it's just great fun. It's not a perfect circle either. But as I look at it, and that's what's fun about drawing, you can look at things. Now in the center, I see something that's darker. And then in the center of there's a little tiny section that has 3 parts, and it looks as if lines go out from there. Now, from here, and I'll do this quickly, these sections have lines. All right, now let's try, here's the leaf, the petal that's on top, and it goes around like this, and then around like this. Now there's one down here, and it goes like this, and then it goes in like this. And then there's another one over here, and that goes down like this and around like this. Then, and these are quite rounded, and they have points. So this goes out from here to a point, and then it goes down to here. And then this one goes down like this, and a point, and then it goes over here. You notice these are underneath the ones that I drew before. And here's this one, and here's the point, and then it goes up like this. And if you look at these, you'll see that there are what look like lines. Not really lines, but they look like it. And with the larger ones here that are in back, there seems to be a ridge in each one. So I'll put that in. And there's a lot else you could do, but that's enough for now. All right, here's the stem. And here's a leaf. And that is a daffodil. And if I wanted to, I could use color on my line drawing. Love to draw daffodils. Love to draw any flower, really. Any flower at all. Try it. I think you might like it too. I'm going to end the show by playing just simple notes on a keyboard. You're a star, you're a star, you're a special kind of star. Yes, you are, special star, special, special, special star. Thank you for being with me. I hope you had a good time. Bye-bye.